A very good morning from Finland. Last night I made the nearly 3-hour drive from the most easterly point in the country all the way over to Koli National Park, which is where I'm hoping to explore a little today and do some hiking and walking. There's plenty of trails in the area. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the rain will hold off. It is supposed to be mostly clear today. But last night I stayed at the Kolin Keidas farmhouse here in the national park. All was good. I really enjoyed it. It was a very unique experience. So I'm going to start the video today by just showing you around my accommodation. It cost €40 a night, which is about £35. And let me take you inside my accommodation as said, and I'll show you around. Welcome to my humble abode. The whole point of me staying here was because I thought it would be an authentic experience while staying in the natural confines of Koli National Park. This is apparently the old outbuilding where in the old days the workers of the farm used to stay, and I bet they never had it this good because I think it has been restored and maybe renovated. It is in really good shape. Let me give you a quick 360 tour of the room. So you can see that is the bunk bed where I stayed last night. We do have electricity. There is one light in the room and socket down there, which is good for charging all of my equipment. There is another bed there. We have a desk with a heater on it. I used that for a little while last night just to take the chill off the room. Up there we have a mirror, a coat hook. You may have noticed that there's no toilet in the room, and that's because there is an outdoor dry toilet just behind the accommodation. So I'm going to go down into the yard, I'll show you that. I'm also going to stop by the main building for breakfast, and not necessarily in that order. There's the back of my accommodation, and then just behind that, down a little narrow pathway, there is the toilet shed, and inside you will find a dry toilet. According to the instructions, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, you have to sit on the toilet and it separates the pee and poo as you're doing your job. Once finished, there is a box of wood chippings. You take half a cup of that, throw it down the toilet, and you're all good to go. I'm glad to say the toilet block does have electricity and toilet roll and even some hand wash, but there is also a tap outside that you can use to wash and clean your teeth. The name of this place is actually Kivela Farm, and it was founded way back in the 1750s. The main farm building, which is where the farmer and lots of generations of his family would live and work from, is called Mattila House, and that was built in the 1920s. The site no longer operates as a farm, but there are plenty of reminders of its former glory, including old wooden shed buildings, an allotment with a greenhouse and a small vegetable garden as well. Well, with that, I think it's time to leave the farmhouse and yard behind and head a bit further into Koli National Park, do a little bit of exploring. So I parked my car in the main car park, and then there was a cable car which took me from the lower level to the upper level, about 100 meters, I guess. Not far at all, you could walk it quite easily. When I got to the upper level, I stopped by the information point and asked if there was any particular hikes or trails they would suggest I do. And they suggested I do the red route, which is the valley hiking trail, and that's the one that I'm currently doing now. So we'll see how this pans out. But before I started the hike, I did go into the hotel that was just opposite the information centre, and I bought a pizza and an orange drink. Total cost was 20 euros, but the views from the table were spectacular over the lakes and the national park area. So that's boosted my energy levels. I think I'm all good for a hike now, so we'll see what we can find. The trail is 3.1 kilometers, about 2 miles, and it should take about 2 hours to do it, the lady said, but there are some ups and downs, so it's going to be a fairly challenging one, and also one that will take me to the highest point in the park. Lots of information signs as I'm walking around. There's one there, but I'm looking forward to seeing what's ahead of me.
I was lost in the woods under dust, and the fairies found me, and they led the way, they cleared the way to my heart.
There's the hiking trail ahead as it weaves through the trees, and over here I just want to show you something. The granite bedrock of which this park rests on dates back to about 300 million years ago, and there is this large quartzite boulder here that was moved into this position probably during the last ice age, when the ice started melting and moving quartzite around. And as I come around here, you can see that I'm currently on the lower section of a ridge. The ridge runs along the top there, and then there is a canyon, a gorge down there as well. And I've got a feeling this is a circular hike that I'm on, that the path ahead will take me along that ridge line.
All the hurt, all the pain under the skin, I had fainted, and they carried me, they cleared the way to my heart.
So this is a point where several different trails meet up, and you could see some really good information signs up there giving you the directions to the trail you're trying to follow. They're all color coded as well, which is really useful. I think if I go down that way, about 1.5 kilometers, there is a waterfall, but I doubt this time of year whether it has any water actually falling down it. So instead I'm going to keep to the trail that I'm actually doing, which is the red trail, and you can see that we now start heading up onto that ridge.
Thank you to magic for rescuing me. Thank you to summer for fairies.
The area was made famous several hundred years ago by Finnish painters who used to come here and paint the landscape of lakes and mountains and forests. And it wasn't until 1991 that the area actually got designated a national park. The total size of the park is 11.5 square miles, that's 30 square kilometers, and in total there are 80 kilometers worth of hiking trails, starting at the smallest, which is about 1.5, and ending with the longest, which is about 60 kilometers.
Blowing glitter in the wind, I had fallen head first into love with another complete stranger, and he robbed away, taking most of me when he left. Oh, thank you to magic for rescuing me. Thank you to
think I might be at the peak. Check that out. What a spectacular area. I am standing on top of one of the 3 peaks of the national park. I don't think this is the highest one. I think the highest peak is round there somewhere. Maybe we'll head to that next. But for now, this is going to do to get some amazing views over the lake and islands. You know, as I've driven around Finnish Lakeland, some of the locals have asked me, you know, what I'm doing in this area. And if I could answer that in one single image, the sun's starting to shine now as well, it's all working out, then this is the image I would show anybody if they're interested in coming to Finnish Lakeland. This is what it's all about, just the outdoors, the natural serenity, beauty, peaceful atmosphere and environment. It is a magnificent place, especially if you enjoy lakes, forests, and just miles and miles of open road. And I'm just about to summit. Here we go, there's a sign there. 347 meters in altitude, 1,138 feet. There's the trig point, as we would say. Support Ukraine on there, couldn't agree more. And look at these amazing views from the highest point in the national park and southern Finland, don't you know? What an amazing viewpoint to end up with on the hike. I'm nearly at the end now, and when I was flying the drone a little bit earlier, I saw a road that runs parallel to the lake. So I think what I'm going to do is head back to the car park, jump in the car and see if I can find that road. So in the winter, I'm currently here. There are a number of ski slopes heading down the side of the mountain, all the way down towards the lake there at the bottom. And then these black lines are chairlifts, bringing the skiers back up to the top. It turns out I am just next to a chairlift station. It is closed up for obvious reasons. There's no snow at the moment. But take a look at this incredible track. Well, Google was trying to send me up that last little tiny road with boulders on it and everything. There is no way I'd have made that in the car, so I'm glad I left it in the bottom. I've hiked it up the last half a kilometre, about 500 metres, to this watchtower. and it is in perfect timing for sunset, although we probably won't get one because it is cloudy today. But I'm going to try and make it to the top, and we'll see what kind of views we've got up there. We are still going up. I think we're there now though. It is a watchtower made of wood on top of a hill. We're going to get some crazy views. There we go, look at that. Towards the sunset as well. I've got to get my bearings a little bit. There's the lake and all the islands. You can see hills all around me. Amazing forest, as I've talked about before in this video. What a place. And I think there ahead of me is Koli National Park. And then around to my right, more lakes and more forest. We are crazy high. Unbelievable, there we go. There's the watchtower all the way up. What a day it's been. I've thoroughly enjoyed every second of it. I can honestly tell you I could spend a week in Koli National Park and not get bored. It is an amazing place. Definitely worth a visit if you're anywhere near the area. But thanks very much for watching the video. I can hardly talk now, I'm so exhausted. I will catch you in tomorrow's video. I've now got a 2-hour drive to my next destination, and so I'll probably be getting there about 10:30 tonight. But I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be my last day in Finland, my last day in the Lake District. But what a trip. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you tomorrow.